Something will not people have come with the Onam thing. I kept them prasadam books. Will not people have come.
Hari Om. Namaskaram, namaskaram. Prasadam. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om, Swami. Pranam.
Pranam.
Hari Om, Swamiji. Hari Om, Swami.
Yes, what is to be shared today?
Swamiji, Hari Om, Pranam, Swamiji.
Pranam.
Today is love, Swamiji, love. About love.
Love.
Kindly love. Swamiji has referred to silent prayer yesterday for blessing us all. Papa.
Silent prayer.
Amma.
Okay. Silent prayer, Swamiji. He wants you to talk about silent prayer.
This side, this side, this side. Love is the expression of God. To realize love is to realize God. So first of all, we try to understand what do we mean by love. We love our kith and kin, we love our children, brothers, sisters. Is that love? Yes, to begin with, to make us know what love is extending ourselves, stretching ourselves to one more, no? So that comes from the family life first. Because where the mother teaches, without any schooling, she teaches what is love. We develop a relationship with our mother. Nobody teaches us to love her. Think. And what is that emotion? That is why when the child is in the cradle, part of the mind is always on the child, of the mother. Yesterday we read, suppose the child gets fever, the mother is always upset, stretching herself to one more, no? Or how many children, or the dear ones. That is how we start. But because we don't understand, we stop it at a particular time, particular stage. That love is not stretched to anybody else. Then it turns into attachment. Though originally we did not mean that, finally, because then we come to know that love is nothing but absence of otherness. Absence of otherness is a state where we try to identify the common denominator in everybody, stretching ourselves totally to others. So that is why we don't feel the otherness. It is a very advanced state. Even if we think about it, very difficult to comprehend. So let us go from step by step. Here, let us hear a few words of Papa about love. That is why he said love is the expression of God. All comprehensive, all enveloping. Hari Om. There is no otherness. So God realization is a state where we don't feel anybody as another. Is it possible? We cannot even imagine, no. Because our mind has not been trained to go beyond certain boundaries. That is why God placed before us the inspiring life of Mahatmas. If we closely watch, we find they are equal to everybody. When we see them, when we see those things, when we hear about those things, then we look at ourselves. God gives us some moments in our life where we stretch ourselves also. Not knowingly, unknowingly. When somebody is in trouble, to everybody we may not, but at times, even if he is a stranger, we felt whatever is possible we should do. He may be totally a stranger. What did take place at that moment, That means God is teaching us, He is something like a sentinel, watching us. So whenever there is a deep urge in me to know about love, He parades before me certain experiences and then trying to teach me, oh, this is love. We observe in Mahatmas, we don't mean people who have got this kavi cloth. Mahatmas, in every field there are. Not necessarily that they are sannyasis or Mahatmas as we normally understand. Mahatma Gandhiji was in white clothes only, He never left anything. During his Arijan Yatra in Kerala, we were told somewhere near Calicut, when a meeting was organized, as the meeting was going on, one young girl went to the stage and whispered to Gandhiji, my father is he can buy, he is a rich person, I can ask him to buy a shirt for you. Because he was not wearing any shirt, you know that, only one upper mundu. Gandhiji smilingly said, there are so many in our family who are not having it. Immediately the girl with all innocence said, don't worry, father can buy for all. Then he said, the family is the whole mankind. There are many who are not having in different parts of. Then the girl looked at and then went away. It has been noted there, and she became a great Gandhian. Absence of otherness we are trying to lead, When Gandhiji knew that there are so many people who are not having an upper cloth or a shirt, what he did was not to advertise, not to do that, but he himself decided to stop wearing. Because the girls, God made it that we people should know, That is why he prompted the girl to go and ask. And somebody was there to record it. And when we read it, we get some idea. Oh, this is called love. Love limited, we can say now, love limited to a few person turns into attachment. When love is opened up to all, that becomes real love. In other words, we say affectionate. Let us see what Papa says. Love is the expression of God. To realize love is to realize God. God is all-pervading and is seated in the hearts of all beings, creatures and things. To love all is to be in tune with God. Is to become conscious of our perfect oneness with every form of manifestation in the universe. The first thing necessary for a man to attain this all-absorbing and glorious love is that he should be freed from the baneful clutches of lust, greed and wrath. How the love shrinks itself to the limited. It comes out in the form of lust, greed, wrath. Because these passions, taking their stand upon the separative ego sense, throw a cloud or veil over the self-luminous, self-existent, immortal source of love within him. So love is in all of us. Lust, greed and wrath prevent the love for all and makes it to shrink itself to a few people. Everybody can now understand the language, you know? The eradication of the ego with its dark movements can be possible by continuous meditation of the indwelling reality or God by a process of surrender of all action to the same Lord. God is infinite love. It is not that we are to love God, but we have to realize God as love. This love is the fundamental, absolute attribute of the all-pervading Atman, who is our real being and existence. The moment we have realized that we are this truth, our vision is universalized, and we feel our identity with all creatures, beings and things of this globe. In this supreme consciousness of oneness of all life and manifestation, we attainment to the perfect fulfillment of love in us and in respect of everything in the world. The saint who has realized this impersonal love of God does envelop the whole creation with his infinite love, which alone he beholds everywhere. In truth, he always dwells in the one consciousness that he is all and all in all. Love is really the consummation of our oneness with all creation. Love is not merely external, apparent, changing forms of. Love is the very nature of the Atman, who is the one sole reality that is at once an immanent and transcendent infinite spirit. Love, though it seems to be working on the plane of duality, has really its roots in the impersonal spirit that underlies the manifestation. We start our journey with the concept of love we have already in our mind, you know. Initially it had helped us, the sweetness of love. But the only trouble is we halted at some point. And at the same time, God, because of his love towards us, he offered many opportunities for us. In some, we really succeeded. In some, we failed. I remember we have repeated this, but worth repeating again, how Mataji was handling this issue, in an understandable way, which Puja Swamiji shared with us. You remember when somebody came, Swamiji was trying to go to Mataji's room. That particular person was very near to Mataji's room. When she saw Swamiji, immediately she started telling something. Swamiji replied something, and after that, after some time, she went. And when he entered, Swamiji, Mataji, why did you raise your voice? So then Swamiji said, no, she asked, and again we are replying. Probably in that process, I would have unknowingly raised the voice. Then she said, they are repeating it because of the emergent nature of their need. Achha, now you have solved Ashram's problem. What about her problem? Ashram's administrative problem is to dispose of petition. That has been done. But what about her problem? So Mataji was teaching, what is absence of otherness, Yes, this also she used. You have to put yourself in their shoe and see from their angle. From our angle, we have got justification, we cannot do this, it is not possible, or something like that. It's not according to our norms. All those things our mind will parade, everything is perfectly out there. From our standpoint. But Mataji wanted us to see from their standpoint. When prior to coming we were working, that owner, he was also very, very charitable in his nature. So while we were struggling to make both ends meet, in the sense, an organization means every week we have to pay wages, so many things are there. So we will have a budget in our mind, but this person will commit somewhere something. So we don't show him the bank balance. Because the moment he sees the bank balance, he will commit, whereas we have to run the show, So we used to tell him, that is why you are unrealistic. That is why we cannot show you the bank balance. You will have funny ideas. But jokingly, though he is the proprietor, he has to sign. We are not the proprietors. But we don't show him. Then he used to say, I did not ask the bank balance. Then we tell him the problem and show him. Even then he will say, okay, this also I have committed, give them something. So at that time, we were not reconciling with that, He is not thinking in terms of running. But later on, when we start going deep about that person who is totally selfless, to him everybody is equal. A state problem as well as the other man problem is equal. So he gave equal importance for that, not restricting, confining to his own existence. It took a lot of time for us to understand. So from the administrative standpoint, these are all right, 100% right. But from a higher level, when we think, even if we are not in a position to pay 100 rupees, we can pay him 1 rupee, or give him love, if one is also not possible. So like that, we may not be able to meet the demands of everybody. That is agreed, 100%. But Mataji wanted us to make them know that. Mataji did not say you should give her that. Mataji only wanted us to make them know why we have not been able to give. So that we take them into our confidence and say that if everybody comes like that, what can we do? That is why we are asking for these certificates. You may be genuine also. Or this month we don't have, let it come. Next time, if God wills, you come, we will be able to help you. Because ashram will not ask anything from anybody. Like that, lovingly we can pass it on. So Mataji is teaching us, or the Jain is teaching us, what is this love? Absence of otherness. There are many, many instances that come up before our life. How they used to handle, and by that, when later on when we started going deeper into Papa's books, that particular quotation, the world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God. So he parades before us umpteen number of such so that we will try to get more and more clarity on the word we used. Each one can derive what exactly love stands for. You also know that Papa used the word to love all means to love none. We are equal to everybody. At the same time, when we go through Baba's life, Shirdi Baba's life, what he says, what he does, or what he did, was that in certain cases he expresses, in certain cases he will not express. So when the other people ask, why are you not expressing to us? You don't expect it, the other person expects, so I am doing it. No? So when we start thinking, each one will get a definition of love. Ultimately, it zeroes to absence of otherness. But when it comes to play in different forms. Our mind will immediately put the label love. When we see somebody doing it, so each one has to do a little manana. Then only it becomes clear to us. Just hearing, it will not help. We have to watch, and which is the one which touches and kindles the impersonal aspect. That is love. Where we have no zero vested interest. And when we do that, we forget about it. We do not expect even the beneficiary to show any gratitude or recognition of what we have done. This can be taught not through books, by observing.
Hari Om, Swamiji. Hari Om, Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
You just now told it kindles impersonal love.
Impersonal, it is not limited to one individual, no.
Oh, okay.
On the 16th day of Puja, Swamiji's Iti Puja, what we call, on that day, unexpected crowd came. And the person who was entrusted with cooking, when he came in the morning, we told him probably 6,000 to 7,000. But actually, it had exceeded 11,000 or 12,000. But without murmuring, without complaining, the person, he handled everything coolly and ensured that everybody gets everything. And when he came to our room at 3 o'clock, there was not a tinge of complaint. Then I said, I'm sorry, we couldn't give you the correct. That is all natural, that's all. He was teaching us a big lesson. There is no vested interest. So the perfection, the urge, the quality, care and concern for that. I still remember one more incident which I have shared here. At a particular moment, the vada was out of stock. But once we were in the midst of so many things, somebody comes and whispers in our vada is we run out of stock. Can we get it from the vegetarian shop without informing, without knowing anybody? Yeah. And the same quality? Same quality. So without anybody knowing, they went there, bought the extra vadas and then came and served. Papa was teaching us. They could have said it is out of stock, What can be done? Nothing can be done. We'll stop. But there is a concern, that vada should be given. Puja Swamiji, they are coming not for vada, they are coming because of their respect for Swamiji. Because of their concern for Swamiji. So when they come, it is our duty to somehow see that everything is given to them. Great lessons for all of us. Great lessons. So that's why we said each one can get the clarity on the word love by remembering such
What, uncle?
It's all right.
But many times, Swamiji, we all slip because of attachment.
Amam.
We all slip because of attachment.
We have to pray.
Not everything, yes, Swamiji.
We have to keep on praying. You are placing before us concrete examples, but still we don't. It stays at the, nice, we appreciate as if somebody wants our certificate, unknowingly. But it has to percolate, that nobody can help, only we can pray to him to help us. Impersonal, we are trying to understand what is impersonal. We are only, our concern is only to serve everybody, that's all, not a particular one.
This is duty, Swamiji, impersonal. Duty is impersonal.
Duty is also there, Duty cannot obstruct our love. Duty cannot. Our love, how it should be expressed, each one has to find out a way. Ultimately, it is free from vested interest, free from otherness, feeling of otherness. But when it comes at play, it may be in different forms.
Thank you, Swami.
So values, you keep on saying, values are nothing but the different forms of love. Human values or social values or family values, spiritual values, whatever name we put, whether it is love, compassion, selflessness, perfection, anything you put, it is all the different facets of the word love. That is why Papa immediately said, God is love. Because here it becomes expressive in so many ways.
Swami, spiritual love, is it called spiritual love?
Everything. There is only one love, which is spiritual love.
Not able to hear.
Gauri Shankar is not able to hear, it seems. He said he is not able to hear.
क्या हुआ?
All others are hearing.
You can hear now?
Yes, Swami. Yes, Swami.
Maybe his volume must be low.
You may.
Ask him to check your volume, please. Gauri Shankar Mama, na? Mama, please check your volume. Probably that's low.
Can you hear?
Gauri Shankar uncle, can you hear?
I think that's the volume.
Gauri Shankar has left the meeting. Okay.
Swamiji,
Ah.
to purify our mind for love. How to purify our mind to love?
How to purify the mind through love?
Only by Nama. With a strong conviction that I must be able to open myself up to everybody and everything. Please enable me to do that. My mind is closed mind is open only for these persons or objects or situation. It should not be, my mind should be open for all at all time. Please help me. I am unable to do by myself. In my mind, equal space should be given to everybody. I know it can't be done in one go. At least gradually I must be able to. Gradually I must be able to reach out to everybody with whom you make us to get in touch with. It may not be possible to embrace the whole world. But the world before us, the society before us. Or God in a mysterious way makes us to come in contact with. Now through email, through so many things, He makes us, we may not be able to embrace the whole world. But first, nobody is a stranger then for us. And every day we have to learn. So many times we may fail. With all this knowledge we may fail. Everybody, whoever who writes to us for anything, it may not be possible for us to meet with their demands. Mind may be justifying from the administrative level. But we used to feel that. Why are you doing this? That means we are not happy, though we have replied or something like that. We have not been able to meet with their demand. At least in some way we should be able to meet. You lost your network, come back. So this is what I said, we keep this, don't take it as an abstract theory. We have to watch ourselves when we are limited to, when we keep our love circle limited, we know that we have not understood love. Mataji put it in a simple way, but a tall talk for all of us. A day should come when you should feel the same affection to your family members and to the man on the street, the stranger on the street. Then only you can say that you have spiritually advanced. Nice to hear. But to her it was possible. But at least we should make from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 1 to 100 it may be difficult. So are we making a move towards that? It comes out in the form of adjustment, adaptability, and then patiently hearing. Difference of opinion should not affect the relationship. Like that, we keep on listing it out. The word love is an abstract one. So when it comes to play in different forms. You are holding on to a particular view and somebody comes and says, immediately the resistance will be there. Because I am right, you are wrong. That is the guiding principle for us. But suppose when we patient, and immediately we try to understand, taking it not from the individual. The moment we take it, it is not coming from the individual and coming from him only to correct us, to make us to ponder again. We can stick to our own decision, but we should not belittle the importance of somebody bringing out. This, like that, what all we come across. Difference of opinion should never have anything to do with the relationship. It's good that somebody raised this question. We have to go very deep into it. And we have to parade our own lives. Umpteen number of times God has taught us. You can hear now? Gauri Shankarji?
Yes, Swami.
Very good, very good. Okay. Good.
Space for others.
So this is important. When Papa mentioned the word impersonal, it answers everything. So in the Vyavahara, when all these things are put to test in Vyavahara, not in the satsang session. Satsang session we can hear comfortably, na? And the moment we enter into the field of activities, to what extent what we have heard has been assimilated and absorbed and has become a part of our life. That is the real test. And he gives us the test. Okay, we may fail, but we should know at least we have failed, then only we can correct. The mind will keep on holding to its stand. That openness. When we are working in a company, a professional field, a profession, if our care and concern is to lift everybody to our level, not bossing over or criticizing, it's a form of love, impersonal love. Everybody should be, nobody should be denied of anything. Everybody should flower in their own way. This attitude, this is a form of love. Not becoming aware of anything that we have done. Because God, in Bhagavad Gita, it because of the Swabhava, things had happened, that's all. So we don't even mentally recognize it, take credit. It is a form of love. So the best way to understand love is to go through our own life and the life of anyone who is advanced and see how they are expressing this in their thought, word and deed. And we have to keep on learning,
Yes, Swami, thank you.
God will definitely provide us when we start looking at it. We don't need any scriptures. Practical. Even in the Yati Puja, the first thing is, when we invite the saints, why do we invite saints and give them preference? Saints are those who don't ask anything, who don't have limited limited possessions. In some form or other, they are always reveling in God thought. So such people, when they come, we first wash their feet. And then With a towel we wipe out. And then they are led to the place where, this was the place where they were fed, the same hall. And they will be led to the place, and then somebody will be chanting, and everything will be served. And at the time of leaving, we also give them a bag with some of the basic requisites of a person and whatever dakshina possible. It is an act that is given to us by God, and every time when we wash the feet, we are not thinking in terms of an individual. We are thinking in terms of the Mahatma on whose dropping the body you have arranged. So he is now giving us, because we revere him, let it not be confined only to him. We will be happy to wash Puja Swamiji's feet, wipe it out with cloths. Let it not remain only to that feet. So that is why on the 16th Shodashi day, probably they would have arranged this, but we took it like that. Swamiji is there in all forms. So every time we wash their feet, we are remembering, please try to make me feel your presence in all. Let it not be limited to your particular form. This is an effort for understanding love. No? That is why we said, when you start thinking in your own life, you will find God giving you, in your professional life you would have got friends, in your social you would have got friends, you would have done, God would have prompted you to do so many things for so many people. You would have treated from person to person. No. Though he may be a stranger, still you feel it was a help given from you, the person, to he, the person. When it becomes impersonal, it becomes an act of love. So that means we have to remove the person to person. God gave us, we somehow, they will be able to hear?
No, it's going on.
See, God has given us equally to everybody.
Go. Take hotspot. Hotspot is. It's already on. Hotspot is already.
No, I switched it on.
Now you put. Okay.
By the time you...
Papa brought.
It's all right.
That's okay. So battery is running.
Your battery is too low.
You can put. You take out that black.
We are unable to understand love because our battery is running low. So we should charge ourselves with Ram Nam. Anything impersonal, no, that will direct us to this. When it is confined, localized, crammed to a form, then we lose track of this.
Yeah.
Discharging.
I think so.
Some light must come. No?
Here. Oh, it's still not connected.
You might want to plug in your PC.
Charging is not coming from that.
Not charging.
No, it's not charging. See if it's come on now.
Anyway, 420.
No.
Wait, I'm trying something else.
Charging? Everything is there, but it will not it will not activate, that means what?
Now it is.
That means what?
Swamiji, got it.
Everything is okay, but it will not work if it is not charged. We have got sufficient academic knowledge.
But practically we're following.
But if it is not charged internally,
Audio is not there, Swamiji.
Audio, it's got 1 minute.
Yeah.
Audio is Swamiji, we are not able to hear Swamiji.
Okay. Now you can hear?
Yes.
Okay.
Unity and oneness are the true nature of love. Where there is a sense of division, where there is the idea of me and mine and thine, where there is self-seeking and self-aggrandizement, there does not live true love. Therefore, divine love, which is true love, is impersonal in character and all-pervading in nature. This love is God, and this love is our real being and life. To realize this love is the struggle of every aspirant on the path of God realization. Unity and oneness are the true nature of love. Where there is a sense of division, where there is the idea of mine, thine, where there is self-seeking and self-aggrandizement, there does not live true life. So we have to immediately go back to our own life, Therefore, divine love, which is true love, is impersonal in character. That means it is not for a specified beneficiary. It is available to all. So to understand this, these are all words, okay, nice words. But to really understand, we go through our own life experience and the life experience of those who have advanced. When we go through our own life experience, we will know where all we have failed, where He made us to succeed also. And when we look at others who are advanced, we will find where all they succeeded. So that we understand the real meaning of love, not the textual or the academic or the literal meaning of the love. When we say absence of otherness, it is a literal meaning, But how can you know that? When you have seen somebody expressing it, then we get the, oh, this is that. It can come in any way. In Wayanad, when somebody came one day, he was he was very much physically, sick. Initially, we thought of being 200, 300 rupees. It must be in mid-80s. Immediately, Jain comes and says, if you say he is seriously sick, what is the use of giving 200, 300 rupees? What he needs is medical attention. Why don't you take him to the doctor? No? And immediately when we took him to the in our two-wheeler, there was no vehicle there. And when we took him to the doctor said, you wait. And in 10 minutes, the doctor comes and tells me, you brought him at the right time. He was likely to slip into diabetic coma. Suddenly we realize we would have paid 200, 300 rupees and disposed of. But his sixth sense, even after 35, 40 years, that incident is still before us. These are all the way in which we understand what is absence of love. Otherness. Immediately he identifies himself with that person, and what is needed is the immediate medical aid. And in 10 minutes time, we were able to take him there, and the doctor comes and says he was immediately admitted, you brought him at the right time. And 2 days he was unconscious, and third day he got up. So it is not simply disposing, See the height from which they are looking at. So this is the way we can understand this seemingly innocent but highly, highly complex word called love. We all say, I love you, or something like that. So many things we write in the letter, express, how are you? Are we really concerned about how are you when he asks? Automatically it comes, we will say, hello, how are you? But every word we should mean, This should percolate, because nothing should become casual. Every word we should mean. Nothing for formality's sake. Whether it is possible in our social life, we don't know. Each one has to try and. But we have seen those people who are they are not bothered about the social etiquette or something like that. Whatever they feel, they will say that. And nobody will get wounded because they are so pure. So only through observing the experience of those who have moved higher than us, and also to see our own experiences where we at least now recognize that we have not understood the real meaning of love. So to cap it again, we will read Papa's word. It's beautiful. Finally, he leads us to this. Unity and oneness are the true nature of love. Where there is a sense of division, where there is the idea of mine, thine, where there is self-seeking and self-aggrandizement, there does not live true love. Therefore, divine love, which is true love, is impersonal in character and all-pervading in nature. This love is God, and this love is our real being and life. To realize this love is the struggle of every aspirant on the path of God realization. Toughest. To become alert at every moment, We are all fortunate that we are in the process of cleansing ourselves. But still none of us can arrogate that we have cleansed ourselves purely. So we should be careful. That is why he said, this is to realize this love is the struggle of every aspirant on the path of God realization. So we pray to him now. Whenever I go off the line, please pull me up. Knowingly I will not, but unknowingly I may. Because of my old habits, old preconceived notions, I may not be able to stretch my hands to everybody. At that time, please intervene and make me to stretch my hands. That I have heard so many times, all enveloping, all embracing. That is the stage I want to reach. Please help me to do that. So this prayer also constantly goes along with our chanting. Chanting is for remembering. Yesterday we did, chanting is for remembering. So along with our chanting, we also try to, during the pause moments between the chanting, we include this prayer also. You made us to dwell on. Day for yesterday, you raised the issue of surrender. Yesterday, it was remembrance. Today, it is love. There is some sequence in all these things, we understand. So may enable us to live up to what is imparted to us by you through your own words. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om Swami.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Hari Om to Anandashram.
Gauri Shankar Uncle talks.
Oh.